This right here is a secret sauce that no one tells you about. Come close. Let me tell you. Let me put y'all on, okay? It's so simple, but that's where it trips you up. Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Peace and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new to my channel, hey, hello, it's your girl Peace, and on this channel I make a lot of videos to help high school seniors thrive their senior year so they can easily transition into college and then thrive there too. So I have a lot of college advice and college vlogs. Check out my playlist. I'm sure you like it, and stick around. If you're an OG, you remember about a year ago when I did a scholarship video, go to college for free video, and y'all loved that video, and a segment of it was answering common scholarship prompts. It was a very small segment, and I really wanted to expand on it because it's really important, and I wanted to make a whole dedicated video for it, and that is what this video is for. So today we're gonna answer common scholarship prompts, and stick around to the very ending, y'all, because I want to tell you guys about this thing called the S.T.A.R Method. Alright, the S.T.A.R Method. By using the S.T.A.R Method, you'll be sure to shine out of the other applicants. Yes, I just did that. Every question will be laid out like this. First, I'm gonna say the question. Then I'm gonna tell you why they're asking this question and what they hope to get from you. I'm gonna tell you how to answer it, some possible responses, and give you an example of it being in use. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I will also link down below some links that you can use to read if you're more of a reader. But yeah, let's get started. So question number one, a very common scholarship question that you're gonna get is, tell me about a time that you failed at something. What did you learn? Or it could be worded as, talk about a time when you overcame an obstacle. Okay, like they're asking you this question because they want to see that you face issues, that you face problems like everybody, but that you're not afraid of it, that you move forward, that you know how to overcome. They want to see that overcoming part. They don't want to see you get punched out and you staying down. They want to see you, okay, you were punched down, but you still got up another time to try again. That's what they want, and that's really how you want to show it. So when you're answering this question, it's really like who, what, when, how, all of that, right? So really, what was the obstacle? What did you learn from it? How did you grow? How did you evolve and become a better person from that? So you may ask, Peace, how can I show that in my essay? Simple. And for y'all that like to write sob stories for your scholarship essays, this right here is perfect. Write a sob story, but talk about how it improved, how it made you better, how the L that you took wasn't an L, it wasn't a loss, it was a lesson. So for example, maybe you failed in an exam, right? You're normally a straight A student and you got a C or a D. So you, okay, now I'm gonna know to do better, I'm gonna know to study more. Or maybe you're a singer and you're freezing up at a choir concert, which if you guys read my Common App essay, that's really what I talked about. You're a singer and you froze up at your choir concert. Well, what do you take from that experience where you face an obstacle? Well, now you know next time to practice more in public so it doesn't happen again. Maybe you missed the winning goal for soccer or basketball or football or whatever. So what did you learn from that experience? Yes, you felt bad, but now you know, okay, now I'm going to practice more. Now I'm going to not be afraid to take that shot, no matter how scared or nervous you are. The next question, a very common scholarship question, is, why do you deserve this scholarship? Woo! Y'all, this sounds so easy, but it's really so hard, y'all. Like, let's get serious. It's really hard to answer this question because it's like, how do you talk highly about yourself without bringing other people down, you know? Come close. Let me tell you. Let me put y'all on, okay? Welcome to Peace's Academy of Success. P.S. Pass? Whatever. We'll come back to that, okay? Why are these scholarships asking you these questions, you may ask? So, you getting a scholarship, they're really investing into you. You're an investment, and they want to make sure that you have a good ROI. And ROI means return on investment. They put money into you, and they'll get money back. So, what are you going to do for them? How are you going to give back to the community to help others? What is your purpose? How will you change the world? How will you change your community? So the simplest way to answer this question is to talk about your goals. Talk about it. What do you want to do? How do you want to be great? How do you want to change the world? Whether it's a person at a time or 10,000 people at a time. Talk about your goals, but also how will this scholarship help you accomplish said goals. But really right here, come close. This right here is the secret. This right here is the secret sauce that no one tells you about. The third part for you to answer that question is talk about, yes, you won this scholarship, but show them how you've been working towards this goal without their money. Come close. Come close. You hear me? Talk about how you've been working towards this goal without their money. So they're like, wow, this girl wants to cure cancer and she is interning at hospitals and doing this and doing this and doing this without our money, without our funding. So imagine how powerful, how unstoppable she's going to be with our funding, with a little extra 2K, 5K, 10K, 40K, even $500. Imagine how far that'll go with a little push, a little help, a little, that's the key. So talk about your goals, how the scholarship will help you pursue your goals further, but also how you've been pursuing the goals even without the scholarship. So it shows that you're a go-getter, So I put an example right here. I'm just gonna read it because it's so much easier. So for example, someone might say, okay, I want to be a psychiatrist to raise mental health awareness in minority communities. That's what your goal is. The second part is how you've been working towards your goal. I've had internships in psych clinics in inner cities / downtown to further, learn more about the experience. The last part is how would this scholarship help you further your goals? Getting this scholarship will lessen the financial burden, so I'm able to get closer to my goal of medical school and eventually being certified to help my community on a grander scale. This is a made-up example that I just made up for the sole purpose of this video. That's really it, the 3 points. And with my example, they can see that, wow, this applicant, she's driven. She wants to do this. Mental health awareness, do this, do this, do this. She has a plan. And not only that, she's not just waiting for a handout. She's actively working towards it. Another key to it is to make sure that it's unique and also add your accomplishments and your success in that too. So the next question is, tell me about yourself. So this question is used in Common App essays, it's used in scholarship essays, it's used in interviews even. It's so simple, but that's where it trips you up because it's so open-ended. It's like, what do I talk about? Like, what about this, my entire life story? Like, where do I start? Where do I end? I get it. I was once like you. I definitely get it. But let me tell you what I've learned. Okay? So, let me tell you guys what not to do. Okay? What not to do. Do not. Y'all with me? Do not give them your entire life story. You probably only have 250 words, 150 words, 500 words, 750 words. You don't have a lot of words to write your entire life story. And if you try to fit your entire life story in a small amount of space, I feel like it's not really going to be meaningful. It's not. Pinpoint parts that are important. Also, do not reiterate every single thing on your resume. Why? Because they already have that. Okay? They already have your resume. Like, do not word for word verbatim repeat the things on your resume, because it's like, why are they reading your essay when they already have your resume to read that? Don't do that. So you may ask, okay, what should I do now? Great question. Tell them a story or multiple stories about certain things on your resume. Like, I applied to a scholarship last week. Why do you deserve this scholarship / tell me about yourself, right? And I basically brought up multiple stories about my life, but like specific stories, not my entire life story. Whether it was me immigrating to the United States and having to learn a whole new culture, that's the whole struggle part. Whether it was me, learning and coming out of my shell and doing different activities like becoming Miss Afrique on Howard's campus, or doing this event and this and this and this and this. So I'm using stories, multiple stories, to build on my case, but I'm not telling them the entire life story from A to Z. Just pinpoint certain stories that you can create a story out of. Also, when they ask you this question, think of it like an elevator pitch. So an elevator pitch is like when you are in an elevator with someone who wants to hire you, but you only have 15 seconds or the length of an elevator ride to tell them why they should hire you. So imagine you just walked in to the elevator and you see Jeff Bezos. You want him to hire you to Amazon, right? So you have a short elevator ride to tell him why he should hire you. So when you have that short amount of time, what would you pinpoint? What did you emphasize to Jeff Bezos? Think of it like that. You only have a short amount of time or words to say something to really pitch yourself to this organization, to this person. So what will you say? Think of it like that. That's how you answer this question. So I have a few keys that you should definitely include. 5 keys actually. So you want to include a short-term goal, a long-term goal, what you've done to work towards your goal, your values, as well as your personality. So as you guys can see, you're really repeating the exact same thing in every single essay. What you've done to work towards your goal. That was in the last essay too. So it's really just a matter of mix and match, juggle, maybe take this out this time. Just make sure you answer the question, okay? That's what people mess up. Because they ask the same questions and they're very, very similar, some people don't actually answer the question. So be sure to actually answer the question that they're asking you. An example for this essay, tell me about yourself. I wrote it down, so I'm just gonna read it, alright? So, I'm really passionate about helping kids. That's why I'm majoring in psychology with the hopes of one day becoming a child psychiatrist to help give children a voice they never had. I interned at the Children's Hospital and psych clinics to learn more about the field. When I'm not interning with the kids, I enjoy losing myself in a good book. As you guys can see, based on the 5 things I just gave you guys, okay, based on this example, the long-term goal was what? Becoming the child psychiatrist. The short-term goal was majoring in psychology. The what you've done to work towards your goal, this person was interning at hospitals and psych clinics, so they're actively working towards their goal. Their values is clearly helping kids. Personality, you can tell that they love reading. I hope that makes sense. So about to move on to the 4th one. The 4th common scholarship prompt is tell me who you admire and why. Bro, people always come across this question and they always answer it wrong. And it's so easy to answer it right too when you know what they're asking you for. And that's the thing. People don't know what they're asking for. They ask you, tell me who you admire, because they really want to know you. They want to know what inspires you, what you look up to. Because the people who you admire says a lot about who you are. I'm gonna say it again. People who you admire says a lot about who you are. They really want to see like what traits, values, personalities mean a lot to you. So how do you answer it? Great question. Simple. First, state who your role model is. And you can say this in a story-like form or just outrightly say it. What is their story? Why do you admire them? Why do you look up to them? Third one. Okay, they inspire you. But what do they inspire you to do? And be sure to connect this back to your goals, back to your dreams, your aspirations, and all that. Also, talk about how what you've learned will help you in the future. Let me give you another example that I wrote down. Y'all keep this in mind. This is just like an example, a very, very rough example, okay? Like, your essay should be more cohesive and have better diction than this. My older cousin is my role model. He's always so cheerful and happy. He also has a heart of gold. On his free time, he tutors me. He goes above and beyond for me. I aspire to be like him. And you can focus on different moments that he helped you and then connect it to one cohesive story. So how does this answer the question? Well, I stated who my role model was, right? My older cousin. What's their story? How did they inspire you? What he does. He helps me, he tutors me, all that. And what does he inspire you to do? I don't think I said it. I didn't say it. But the last line was supposed to be, he inspires me to go out of my way and give back to the community. So that's what he inspires me to do. And then, like, I take this lesson with me, connected back to your goals, right? I take this lesson with me as I plan to become a blank. So if you wanted to become, based on the last example, becoming a child psychiatrist, I take this lesson of helping other people and being selfless with me as I plan to become a child psychiatrist to help other people. I take this lesson with me and I plan to become a cancer researcher. I took this lesson with me as I plan to become a IT tech support. You know what I mean? Like, really just mold it. So once again, who your role model is, what's their story, how did they inspire you, what did they inspire you to do, and then connect it back to your story. Alright, the next question is, sometimes schools do this when the scholarship ties to a specific school. So maybe Howard or NYU will have a scholarship that they want you to apply for. So they ask you, why did you choose this school? Or why did you choose to attend college, period? Because they understand the importance of education, which is why they're funding somebody else to go to education. They want to see why your story is, why you chose college over getting a job, over going to trade school or something. You most likely chose that school for a reason. So this should be easy to answer, I would hope, right? So maybe you chose Howard because, you know, HBCU, legacy, pride, all that good stuff. Maybe it has a really good program that you're interested in. Maybe your family attended it. Maybe your legacy, maybe your culture, the culture at the school, the social life. But yeah, so really explain why you chose the school. You can also use your previous experiences and how it led you here. Talk about what motivates you to get your degree and how a scholarship can help you study what you're passionate about. But not only that, what you plan to do after you get this degree. One more time, let's repeat it again for the people in the back. Why you chose the school, the previous experiences that actually led you to choosing school or to choosing college as a whole. What motivated you to get a degree, you know? How this scholarship will help you to get closer to that degree, to get closer to that final zone, but also what you plan to do after you get the degree. So using the last example, just to show you guys that all these stories can really just change it around to answer it. So the last example I gave you guys was about the, maybe the second to last. Let's go back to the original example about becoming a child psychiatrist. So we can talk about, okay, I chose this school because it has the best psych program. Mental health was not talked about a lot in my life, and that previous experience really taught me to teach other people about it and give other people the childhood I never had. That's the previous experience part. That's also what motivates you. How the scholarship will help you get your psychology degree. Boom. That checks off. The next one is your plans after getting the degree to go to med school or whatever to become a child psychiatrist. Do y'all see it? It's really just interchangeable, y'all. You can tell the exact same story, just switch it up. Number 6, how will you benefit from this scholarship? This is very, very similar to the other ones as well. And it can really just talk about different ways. So whether it's financially, so whether that's books, tuition, supplies, travel, transportation-wise, so many different ways that it can help you financially. Talk about how it will help you achieve your academic goals, your career goals. Talk about how it'll help you further your education, but also discuss your long-term and your short-term goals. As you guys can see, they really want to know who you are and what you're doing. So move it. Show them. Number 7, tell me about a time that you demonstrated leadership / tell me about a time that you stepped up as a leader. Something related to leadership, leader, stepping up, all of that, right? So they're asking this question, why? Because they want to see that you take charge, that you go above and beyond. You're not just a spectator, if you will, that you stepped up. You know, keep in mind that scholarship organizations, they're not interested in how big the role was. It can be a really small role, like a leadership role, but like you're in the bottom of the ladder type thing. It was still a leadership role. It doesn't have to be like top CEO level, manager, supervisor level. It can be a small leadership role. So it's not about the magnitude of the role. It's really about how this role affected you, helped you stepped up, how it affected your community by default as well. Really just give a backstory. Was it for a school project, the job, volunteering? Like, what was it for? Your leadership role, position, title. Even if there was no official role, you can even put what you felt like the role was. Talk about what this leadership experience taught you, but also how would this newfound leadership skills help you further your education? It's really just a cause and effect. You gain this skill, okay, but how will it help you with your education after your bachelor's degree and your future career goals and so on and so forth? They want to see that you're living and learning, okay? The 2 L's. Another question, it's not as common as the other ones, but I still wanted to put it on here. This is the last one before we get on to the S.T.A.R method, but it is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? They can even ask 10 years or even 20 years. They really want to see visionary, you know? And they're asking you this because they want to see that you actually kind of sort of have a plan for the future. It doesn't just stop here, that you're actually going to use that degree for something, that there's a reason why you're going to school, that there's the reason why they're giving you this money. Go back to number 1 when I talk about the ROI, the return on investment. They want to make sure that the money that they're giving you is to someone who has vision, who's not just short-sighted as to now. So show them that your degree lines up with the future. So back to the child psychiatrist, you guys see how it just works with every single thing. Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? That person said, okay, after obtaining this degree, I plan to go to medical school to become a child psychiatrist. You see how the degree lines up with their future goals? Sometimes it doesn't always have to work like that, but you know, they want to see that. Alright, so that was my 8 tips. So now it's time for the S.T.A.R method. Alright, you guys with me? The S.T.A.R method. So I actually heard about this S.T.A.R method. I think I heard about it my senior year. So that was literally 3 years ago. Ooh, I sound old. My senior year of high school, when I was, applying to scholarships and colleges and stuff. I think it was from YouTube. That's the power of YouTube, y'all. So let me tell you guys the S.T.A.R method. And you can use the S.T.A.R method for literally any scholarship essay you do, any Common App essay you do. You can literally use it for anything. Even for interviews, bro. For interviews, you can still use this method because it's that helpful. So STAR is an acronym. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. So situation, when you're writing an essay or an interview or whatever, you have to give them the situation. You have to set the scene. What are you guys talking about? What led up to this? Set the scene and give the necessary examples. That example that I gave you guys about my older cousin being helpful and all that, I set the scene. I said I wanted to become like him, but I talk about what he did. He did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. Set the scene. For example, they asked you, how did you show leadership experience? Set the scene. It was one fateful day in 2017 when I did this and when I did that. Set the scene. T stands for task. So talk about what your responsibility was. What were you tasked with doing? Back to the leadership example, set the scene. Oh, it was one day in 2017, December 1st, 2017, at my job. I was tasked with doing half of a presentation. I set the scene to my task. A stands for action. Explain exactly what you did to accomplish that task. How did you take action? Alright, so my task was to do half a slides. It took me 3 days to do my slides and I did it. Results are, what was the outcomes? What happened? I was able to complete my portion of the task. However, my partner fell sick. I stepped up to do her task as well, so we can complete this task and present the presentation even with our roadblocks. Do y'all see it? That was really off the dome right now. But yeah, I actually have 5 more extra tips for you guys to keep in mind. So real quick. So first one, if you want to write a sob story, you can, but really talk about how you overcame that struggle, how you overcame that sob story. Crying. Like, wipe your tears, sis. Wipe your tears, bro. Wipe your tears, them, they, and keep it pushing. It's a sob story, but come on. How do you move on from that, okay? Another tip to keep in mind is to tell a story each time. I know in my examples, I was kind of like, I wasn't really telling you a story because that would take too long to write, to read. I was just really giving you guys the basic synopsis, but really tell a story every single time. The next one is brainstorm ideas. Really, when you have a scholarship essay, just write down ideas and it will start flowing. I can tell you so many times that I started writing an essay for something and then I started brainstorming and then I got a whole other idea and I really had to start it from scratch. The last essay I wrote last week, that was literally what happened. Literally. And like, don't be afraid to start something new. Yes, this essay must be really good, but maybe it's not really good for this. Like, this one was really good, but I wasn't feeling it anymore. I was feeling the other one, so I turned in the other one. Another tip is to read past scholarship essay winners to figure out what the org is looking for. Like, there was this one scholarship, it was the what does number 5 mean to you? And literally every scholarship that I applied to, I see the past winners so I can see what they're looking for. So I can read, okay, they're about this. Okay, so you can kind of see the organization, vision, their structure, their pillars, their mission. You can kind of see it based on who they chose. Now, not every organization will present you guys with, okay, this was 2018's winners, this was 2019. Not every org will give you that. But if they do, that's a cheat code right there. Now, don't copy it now, because then it's like they literally had it, they literally posted it. Like, that's plagiarism right there. So don't copy it with it, but you get an idea what they're looking for. The last one is you really can't go wrong with ethos, pathos, and logos. So ethos is authority, logos is logic and logical thinking, reasoning, and pathos is emotion. So be sure to throw this in there. But yeah, that was really the video. Like, I wanted this to be quick, easy, and fun. If you made it this far, you are a real one. I want everyone else to know that you're a real one too. So be sure to comment. Be sure to comment hashtag I have a story, like a play on word on the I have a dream by MLK. Yeah, so hashtag I have a story to remind yourself to always tell a story every single time you write. That was my video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I have some more scholarship videos. Check out my other scholarship videos if you have not. DM me, comment down below if you have any questions, and until next time, peace out.